Hi, I'm Alfred, and this is my film about astronomy. I'm going to tell you a little about stars and planets and the Apollo mission to the moon. The solar system is a group of planets circling a star. Our solar system is 4.5 billion years old. The Sun is the star at the centre of our solar system. Stars are enormous balls of gas that are constantly producing energy in the form of light and other types of radiation. As stars go, it's not very big, but it's huge compared to the size of the planets. Planets are balls of rock and different elements which form around a star. All the planets in our solar system orbit the Sun, which means they rotate around it, held there by its gravitational pull. There are 8 planets in our solar system. It takes Earth 365.25 days to go around the Sun. That's the length of a year. It takes Neptune 165 Earth years to go round the Sun, so Neptune has the longest year in our solar system. Venus is a bit strange. Venus takes longer to spin around than it takes to go round the Sun, which means that a year on Venus is shorter than a day on Venus. The terrestrial planets are small and rocky and nearest to the Sun. The Earth is one of the terrestrial planets. The other 4 are called Jovian planets. Jupiter and Saturn are gas giants because they are enormous and made of gas. Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system and is much bigger than Earth. Saturn is known for its rings, but all the Jovian planets have rings. Saturn has 82 moons, which is more than any other planet. Jupiter has 79 moons. Uranus and Neptune are known as ice giants because they are also very big, but much colder than Jupiter and Saturn. They are very icy. To observe the Sun safely, never look directly at the Sun. Never ever look at the Sun through a telescope or binoculars. You can look at the Sun through strong welding glass or goggles, or using a solar viewer. How to make a solar viewer? You will need a box or a cereal packet, tin foil, tracing paper, scissors, sticky tape and a pen. First, cut the tabs off the top of the box. Then, cut the box in half. When you've done that, put the 2 halves together and tape them up. Next, tape a piece of tracing paper over the open end. Then, get an adult to cut a hole in the other end. Tape a piece of tin foil over the hole and make a small hole with a pin in the foil. The viewer will let a tiny amount of light through the pinhole and project it on the screen at the other end. It's much safer to look at the Sun this way, but you still have to be careful not to look at the Sun when you're holding it up. Another name for a moon is a satellite. A satellite is something that goes around a planet. You can observe the moon with a naked eye, binoculars or a telescope. When you look at the moon with binoculars or a telescope, you can see there are places called mares or seas, which are dark patches that look like it might have been a river or a sea. One is called the Sea of Tranquility, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed in the Sea of Tranquility when they went to the moon. There are holes called craters which were created by meteorites hitting the surface. There are also mountains on the moon, but they are hard to see without a big telescope. It's really cool to see the moon through a telescope because it feels like you're going to another world. The Plough is one of the most easy to spot constellations in the sky. It's also called Ursa Major, which means the Great Bear. It's shaped like a saucepan. The two stars on the other side from the handle point up to the North Star. The North Star, or Polaris, is always over the North Pole. So if you can find the North Star, you can find north. Orion is another easy to spot constellation. It's like a rectangle with a tight belt in the middle and two arms drawing a bow. The stars of the belt point down to the dog star Sirius. Cassiopeia looks like a big wonky whirl. It's the other side of the North Star from Ursa Major.
0, all engine running. Liftoff, we have a liftoff, 32 minutes past the hour.
The Apollo 11 mission was the first time people walked on the moon. The rocket was called Saturn V and it blasted off from Kennedy Space Center on 16th July 1969. The Saturn V rocket was 111 meters tall, but only two tiny bits at the top went all the way to the moon, and only one of them came back to Earth again. It took over 3 days to get to the moon. Neil Armstrong was the first man to walk on the moon, followed by Buzz Aldrin. 400,000 people helped in some way to make this mission a success. The computers they used were less advanced than a Fitbit. People watching from Earth must have felt very happy and excited, but they must have also felt scared for the astronauts because it was very dangerous. It would be fun to go in zero gravity because you could float around and play with things. In our galaxy, there are 100 billion stars, which is amazing. But what is even more amazing is that there are more connections in the human brain than there are stars in our galaxy. And there are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on the beaches and in all of the deserts on planet Earth.